he's giving me this section of law, I'll quite happily move.
You just need...
Beg your pardon? I'm just a...
I never said one word.
You liar. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm not going to talk to anybody.
That's all right, 'cause we're filming you as well.
That's fine. It's public.
Just stand
It's
here
perfectly
until you
okay.
move out of the
It's
way.
okay. Perfectly okay to film in public.
Welcome to UK Audit Reviews, where we examine real police encounters and break down the laws behind them. Today's footage comes courtesy Forced Awakenings. Be sure to check out the link in the description below to watch the full original video and support their channel. He's standing on a public street, camera in hand, filming council buildings in broad daylight, perfectly legal. But within minutes, not one, not two, but multiple council enforcement officers and police descend on him. And here's where it gets wild. They start citing laws that flat out don't exist. They threaten to move him. They demand his details. And when he calmly asks them which section of the law gives them that power, silence. Stay with me because this encounter goes places nobody expected.
Can I help you?
No, not at all. Thanks.
I'm just wondering what you're doing.
I've just explained to one of the civic enforcement officers I'm filming.
What are you filming?
Anything I can see from public.
Right, and is there a reason behind that?
It's for a story.
Right, okay. Can I take your details, please?
What would you like my details for?
Because obviously in the interests of public safety and everything like that, when somebody is out filming and having a look around public buildings,
Right.
we have a duty of care
Right.
to check you out.
What, a duty of care to whom?
To the general public.
I'm part of the general public.
Yes.
I don't have to give you my details then.
Right, I can just get other people.
Well, other people I'm still not obliged to give you my details.
I'm asking because
And
at
I'm
the
refusing.
moment, I don't know whether you are committing any criminal offences in this area.
I'm certainly not.
This gentleman is out filming and is pointing up, looking at all the cameras.
So here's the scene. Darlington, a civic building complex, old school turned council hub, housing social services, the drug and alcohol action team, and a police station. Our guy is doing what thousands of people do every day, filming architecture, noting history, telling a story. Then she appears. A civic enforcement officer, the kind that handles parking tickets and dog wardens, marching over like he's casing the building for a heist. She wants his details. He already knows the answer to that one, and he's about to school her on it.
I was filming up there when this lady approached.
What's the issue? Like?
There isn't an issue.
I'm just wondering why he's filming public buildings.
Yeah, why?
the
Well,
council
I'm
buildings.
perfectly entitled to film anything I
No,
can.
because we
Right,
feared-
hang on, wait a minute. I'm perfectly entitled to film anything I can see from a public place, including council buildings that are owned by the public.
Okay, we have concerns about
And-
public safety.
And your concerns are?
We don't know who you are
That's
and what
not a concern.
links it is.
It isn't.
In the day and age that we are in,
Are you accusing me of being a terrorist?
I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but
Do you have
I
reasonable
am
suspicion to
duty-
believe that I'm up to
I think-
anything other than...
I don't know what you're
Right.
up to.
Go on to Google filming in public. And even
Don't
legislation.
tell me what I need to do.
Right, well, don't tell me that I need to give my details when I know that I don't.
I'd like you to move away from this area, please. Otherwise,
You need
I
a section
have-
60. You need to remove somebody from an area without probable cause. You need a section 60.
well, I'm concerned for public safety and what you are doing
Well,
in this
I've
area.
told you what I'm doing in this area.
Well, you need to move away from here now.
Right, well, I'll move to the other numbers on your pellets.
1,000.
1,000. And name?
Sarah Bainbridge.
And yours?
2629. You're also on body cam.
Yeah, that's fine. And you're based here?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, I'm based out of Darlington.
Right, okay, excellent. Hello there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Hello.
This gentleman is filming. He's now refusing to give any details, and
I'm not obliged to.
I can't understand why he's out filming buildings, council buildings, refusing to give any details in light of the incidents we're having.
Let's be crystal clear on the law here, because this is the part these officers clearly skipped. In the UK, filming in a public place is entirely lawful. You have zero legal obligation to identify yourself to a council enforcement officer, or even a police officer unless you are being detained under a specific legislative power. Stop and search under Section 1 PACE, Section 44 or 47A of the Terrorism Act. That's it. Duty of care to the public is not of power. I'm concerned is not of power. And quoting a law that doesn't exist. That's not a power, that's a problem. Alcohol action team and a police station. Our guy is doing what thousands of people do every day. Filming architecture, noting history, telling a story. Then she appears. A civic enforcement officer, the kind that handles parking tickets and dog wardens, marching over like he's casing the building for a heist. She wants his details. He already knows the answer to that one, and he's about to school her on it.
The area.
And those incidents, whatever they may be, no concern of mine, nothing
But I
to do
don't
with me.
know who you are,
Well-
and I can't check you out.
Well, you don't need to.
Yes, I do, because I have a duty of care to
I'll
the
tell you
public.
what it is, right? It's anti-terrorism.
There's no terrorist threat at the moment.
But I don't know who you
What
are.
do you mean there's no terrorist threat? At the moment, we're still on high.
There's no terrorist threat at the moment, and nor has there been over the past 5 years towards any public buildings.
That's a lie, because there was one yesterday, actually.
Was there? Well, I wasn't aware of that.
Well,
Where was
there
that?
you go.
So where was
we
that?
don't know.
So here,
Yes, it was actually.
Right,
Yeah, there was one to the council officers as well.
right, in Darlington.
By an unknown male.
Right.
There was a bomb hoax yesterday.
Was there?
At 11 o'clock yesterday, yesterday morning.
Right.
By an unknown male at one of the council buildings for us that could possibly be you.
Right. Well,
That's
that's nothing to do with me. No
That's why
concern of
you're
mine.
being
How do we
challenged
know
for your
that?
Well,
Which is
were
why
they
I'm
were
asking
they
for
were they
your
were they
details.
stood outside with a mobile phone?
Look, we're not getting into this.
Well-
I am now asking you to leave the area because I feel that you,
On what grounds?
because you are
No,
alarming the public.
No. Which section of the law? You give me the section of the law, I'll quite happily move.
You just need.
Beg your pardon? I'm just a
I never said one word.
you liar. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm not going to talk to anybody.
Right, because we're filming you as well. at the same
That's
time.
fine. It's public.
Just stand here.
Now a police officer shows up, and instead of de-escalating, she doubles down, invoking terrorism. Terrorism. For a man filming a night 203 council building on a quiet afternoon in Darlington. He asks her point blank, "Do you have reasonable suspicion that I'm up to something?" She fumbles. Then she tells him to leave the area. He doesn't flinch. He calmly asks her, "Which section of the law are you using to move me?" She can't answer. So he offers a deal. Given the section, he'll walk. He still can't produce it because it doesn't exist. This is the moment the whole encounter cracks open.
Happy that there is nothing
My details.
untoward.
My details won't give you any other information.
I would like to check you out so that I am happy that I can leave you unattended on the side of the road.
You've got no actual reason other than curiosity as to why I'm filming to be stood here
I want
asking.
to know who you are
Well,
to
I
make
don't-
sure.
I don't have to identify myself, and you're well aware of that. I know the law just as much
very
as you.
shortly, I will to prevent a breach of the peace.
You can't prevent a breach of the peace
can prevent a
if
breach
none
of
was
the
going
peace.
to take place. I'm not breaching anybody's peace.
I have colleagues and members of the council staff who are very concerned about why you were out here filming in light of the incidents
I'm
yesterday.
filming a story. I'm not filming in light of those incidents.
Well,
Those incidents
until
weren't
I
even
can-
known to me until
I
you made
can
them aware.
Prove or negate either way. All I want is your details to make sure that no members of the public are a threat
They're
by
not.
you. Well,
My details wouldn't give you any more information about that.
people tell me every day
Well,
how good they are.
I'm
and that
not
they
saying
are
I'm
no
not saying.
threat.
Hang on, I'm not saying I'm good. What I'm saying, I'm not denying either way.
Everybody says all the time with interactions with the police. It wasn't me.
That's because
I'm no threat.
That's because your interaction, instead of accepting what I'm doing is perfectly legal, is to cite laws that don't exist. Say that
cited a law that doesn't
you
exist.
told me that you were going to move me. You can't move me without that section, without the powers under a section.
I have reasonable grounds to believe you.
If you're asking me to move,
Yes.
right, and you can state me a section of the law, I'll move quite happily. That's a perfectly reasonable
it's
request.
Fine, it's fine because we've got supervision
do you
coming in.
understand what the current levels of
If
threat at the moment?
right, if there has
I know
been,
the word imminent means, I'm sure you do. You seem like an intelligent
if there
person.
has been a threat yesterday of some sort, then yes, I can understand.
Right. So
But
now you understand.
but I wasn't aware of that until you told me.
And then it happens. The officer backed into a corner, tells him he's legally obliged to give his details upon request. His response, stock and precise, devastating. He points out that refusing to give details when there's no legal power to demand them is not an offense. Full stop. Then she drops the bombshell. Her colleagues are calling senior officers to apply for a Paris demand search. He doesn't blink, he keeps filming. Because he knows and she knows that none of this holds up. Every bluff called, every fake law exposed. All of it caught on camera.
So now that's why we need your details.
Well, you don't need my details.
Yes, we do.
So do you have the details whoever it was who you spoke to yesterday?
You know what's going to happen, right? I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. You're going to end up getting arrested.
For what?
Right? Listen,
For
we're
what?
speaking to a supervision at the moment, okay? Based on the current threat levels and the incident that happened
And now
yesterday,
we'll get an
that
order out.
ended up getting seized, okay, under the terrorism laws, Okay.
Your body cameras will also be made public knowledge to me, and I'll use them.
That's fine. I want to know.
I just can't see why you're being
Well,
so obstructive. With
I'm not being obstructive at all.
Yeah,
I'm not obliged. No, there's no obstruction because I'm not obliged by law to give you,
Well, that's
unless
fine,
you
you can fight that in court then.
unless you reasonably assume that I don't need to, because it wouldn't go to court.
Well,
You'd be looking at a lawsuit.
You're being obstructive. I don't care.
I'm not being obstructive at all.
care.
Refusing to give my details when being asked is not an
Listen,
obstruction.
You've asked for our details, okay?
Because I'm, as a member of the public, and you've been civil servant, you are legally obliged to give me those details upon request.
You've obviously got nothing else better to do.
Well, but that's my concern, not yours.
Yeah.
Just when you think it's over, it gets worse for them. One of the officers tells him he's not going anywhere. He immediately calls it out. You just detained me. That is not a throwaway line. Unlawful detention is a serious legal issue. He knows it. And now she's backpedaling, saying she'll just follow him wherever he goes. He calls that what it is? To harassment. The camera keeps rolling, and he keeps walking. Because the most powerful thing you can do when someone abuses authority, document everything. Every single second.
It's a perfectly legal activity.
Because we don't know why you are filming.
But I've told you why I'm filming, for a story.
A story for what?
For YouTube, for my blog.
Right, so who are you?
I don't have to identify myself. And you're well aware of the law regarding identification, stop and search powers and procedures.
It's fine. At the moment, my colleagues are on to senior officers so that we can have a power of stop and search to get your details.
I'm not detaining you.
So you just said to me I'm not going anywhere at the minute.
Listen, where do you intend to go next? Because I'm just going to follow you, right?
That's no concern of yours.
Right, well listen, I'm just going to follow you because we need to speak to you about what you're doing.
You can follow me wherever you like,
that's fine then,
but
right.
don't tell me that I'm not going anywhere,
Alright.
because that's a threat of detainment unlawfully.
Right, listen,
Okay.
would you like to come back round to the police station
I don't
where
need to.
we speak to you?
No, I don't need to.
You don't need
No.
to. Right, where are you going now?
I'm not telling you.
I'm going to follow you then, okay?
You follow me.
Okay.
Here's what this video really is. It's not just one guy filming buildings. It's a masterclass in knowing your rights and holding the line when people in authority try to use fear instead of law. No terrorism, no crime, no legal obligation to identify himself. Just a man, a camera, and the truth, and a group of officers who bet he didn't know the rules. They were wrong. If this video showed you something, drop a comment with the word Darlington so we know the algorithm is actually showing this to people who get it. Share it with someone who needs to see it. And if you're new here, welcome. This is what accountability looks like.